Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Simon and I am super duper excited because I'm about to find out what you all possibly already know, and that is what the 6 books are that have made up the Women's Prize for Fiction Shortlist 2025. I should say I'm excited and also a little bit nervous. Earlier today I filmed the 6 books that I would personally shortlist, and then the 6 books that I predict maybe the judges will pick. And just to go through those quickly and recap, my ones, I've got a photo here, but also this is the phone that I've got the email on with the shortlist in. I've been and had a haircut since so that you knew that I wasn't cheating. Anyway, so we have my personal shortlist was... So here we go. Those were the 6 that I personally would be shortlisting. So we have Good Girl by Aria Aber, we have The Dream Hotel by Layla Lamy, we've got A Little Trickery by Rosanna Pike, The Artist by Lucy Steeds, Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout, I always want to say Lucy Barton because she's so real, and also The Safekeep by Yael van der Wooden. And then the selection of books that I thought the judges would pick were... Those are the 6 books that I thought the judges may pick for their shortlist, the official shortlist. So Good Girl by Aria Aber, The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley, All Falls by Miranda July, The Dream Hotel by Layla Lamy, Nesting by Rasheen O'Donnell, and The Safekeep by Yael van der Wooden. So I'm just going to put these into the right order now, and then we can do a reveal. Honestly, I need 2 sets of these and another 2 arms, frankly. Moving on. Right, so I'm going to open the email now that I have been sent that I have not looked at, which has been very testing considering it's been in my inbox for a while, but telling me what the shortlist is. So, first of all, we have, and I think these are in alphabetical order, yes they are. First of all, we have Good Girl by Aria Aber, which I'm thrilled by. This one has slowly but surely built up with me more and more and more. I didn't think I was going to enjoy this book as it's set in Berlin, which I really, really want to go to, but don't often love reading about, or I'm not necessarily drawn to books set in. I think possibly because I associate it so much with World War II and studying that so much at school. Also, this book is very much about drugs and sex, which puts me, well, the drug particularly puts me off. I did call this the Druglin book accidentally. But yeah, I thought it was so beautifully written. The writing, I mean, there are some segments on art that have gone a little bit too long, but the writing overall is just stunning. Aria Aber is a poet, and you can tell. Then we have, so that's one that I predicted the judges would pick, and I also picked. Then we have next, we can drop all of those. All Fours by Miranda July. Now, I have very mixed feelings about this. Part of me absolutely loved this. Also, part of me really, really didn't. It wasn't on my personal shortlist, but I did think the judges would pick it. Also, I am really intrigued to hear what Mum has to say about this book. I think it might be a slightly icky, awkward conversation, a bit like when we both read The Pisces by Melissa Broder, but one I'm very, very interested in her response to. Then we have, oh, I'm gutted, we're missing one of my absolute favourites, and I think that's a real, real shame. But anyway, then we have The Persians by Sanam Malouji, which I enjoyed very much. This was one of the 6 books, so I should say, if you missed me talking about the longest overall, there were 5 books that I absolutely loved and 6 books that I really, really liked, and this was one of those 6. It's told by 5 different women in one family, and through these women we find out about what is going on right now and what's happened recently, and then we go further back in the past with one particular character, Elizabeth, who is my favourite. I really, really enjoyed this. I'm thrilled to see this on the list. As I am one of my favourites, which I wasn't sure the judges would pick, although I picked it because because it's part of a series. I guess for me this feels like a culmination, but also a diving off point of a series, if that makes any sense. And can that even physically possibly be a thing? Well, in this case, I think it is, because I should say it's Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. I love this book. I love Elizabeth Strout's writing. I think the way she makes the ordinary seem really extraordinary, the way she shows how we never really always scratch the surface with people. And actually that's something I meant to mention, but I saw the wonderful Jen do her reading the Women's Prize for Fiction long list vlog. Honestly, I should never try and film after watching one of Jen's videos, because she's so blinking articulate and so concise with it, and then I just feel like I ramble absolute chuff. Anyway, going back to this, but she was talking about that scratching the surface of characters, and I totally agree. But I love this. I've read all the Lucy Barton books. I feel like you could still go back and read all of those if you hadn't reading this first. And if you haven't read Olive Kitteridge or Amy and Isabel, or I don't know if Abide With Me is in the same world, or certainly the Burgess Boys, then don't worry, because I haven't, and I'm even more keen to, because I loved this so much. I want to find out so much more about Olive, particularly because what a character. And we get enough of her that she's fascinating in here, but you kind of feel there's more, but hooray, we've got those to go back to, if that makes sense. So for me, I didn't feel like I was missing anything not having read those books before, if that's something that you are all worried about. Anyway, so we have this one. And then last but not least, a little bit of a surprise. Oh, hang on, no, it's not a surprise. We have The Safekeep by Yale Van de Wooden, which I predicted both on my personal shortlist and also on would be on the judges' shortlist. This, I think, is just a fantastic historical novel. It's not salacious exactly, it's really sexy in parts, very sapphic, and also has a real poignant nature to it as you read on without any spoilers. Yeah, I thought this was brilliant. And then we have one of my personal favourites. I like this book, but I also had a few issues with it, so I'd be really interested to see how what Mum's reading of this book is, because she's going to be reading all of the fiction shortlist, like I'm going to be reading all of the non-fiction shortlist, and then we'll get together and we'll do our shortlist rankings and winner video. But yeah, it's fundamentally by Nusaiba Yunus, which in parts I thought was brilliant. Actually, it's a very similar reaction to it as I did with All Fours, actually, where in parts I thought some of this was absolutely brilliant, and then some of it just didn't work so well for me, particularly for me, the ending. I felt it took farce a bit too far. It also got a bit bitchy and snarky, and yeah, it just sort of lessened the impact for me, to be honest. But when the balance between humour and the dark theme / nature of some of the book is juxtaposed / flips, I think it does really well. And also, I just want to clarify again, I think I said this in the video where I talked about the long list overall and my predictions. At no point is the joke, because this is a funny book about it's a farcical satire about a program to de-radicalise ISIS brides or ISIS wives, and at no point are those women the butt of any of those jokes. It's very much about the bureaucracy of the situation and how farcical that is. And also, with the author having had experience of that, it makes you all the more annoyed, not at the book, at the situation. So yeah, I will say I'm personally gutted that Dream Hotel is not on the list, because I absolutely blinking love this. I think lots of people will be in shock that Nesting is not on the shortlist. And also, actually, I'm sad about The Artist, because I love that, but last minute I did think maybe the judges wouldn't pick that one. And then Emma, I feel a bit baffled, because I was hoping this would be shortlisted so that I could reread it when I was in a better frame of mind than when I read it the first time. But maybe at some point I will read this anyway. I think it's a corking book, as I do this. And also, I won't lie, I thought this was a good one as well. So there we are. In terms of just catching up on the other books, The Ministry of Time, absolute romp. Did I say romp? I I think I said romp, absolute romp. And I could see why this could have made the shortlist, and I thought it potentially would, because I think it is a crowd pleaser of a book. For me personally, it hasn't lasted or stayed with me as much as I would like, but also I read it last year, so that doesn't seem very fair to be comparing it to the other ones. I DNF this one, so I'm not surprised about that. And this I'm kind of sad about, because I do think this has some cracking writing, and is one of those books that, if you like a Tessa Moshfegh, Jen said this as well, so I'm sort of stealing what she said, and I hadn't thought about it, but as soon as she said it, I was like, so right. This, I think, is a bit Moshfegh. And if you like books that are a bit gritty and dirty and icky, then this is one for you. And then we have Dream Count, which hasn't made the list, and I'm not sad about, because I didn't read this when it was long listed. I would have read it if it was shortlisted and done an art versus the artist video. Am I still tempted to do an art versus the artist video? Part of me is, I would say, like 30%, but 70% of me would much rather read some fabulous books by some trans authors instead, and that is what I shall do, I think. But who knows, maybe it's something I want to talk about in the future. But there we go, that is the Women's Prize for Fiction Shortlist 2025. I would love to know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll be back to talk about these in June. I'll be back to talk about lots of other books in the weeks to come. I've just started filming a new vlog, reading some of my favourite authors' debut novels as I head off, or will be heading off, for a lovely mini break in London with Mum, doing lots of lovely things. And then, yeah, like I said, did I say? Yes, I did say that I'll be reading the Women's Prize for Non-Fiction Shortlist in the coming weeks, along with, just to name another prize, I know, how naughty of me, what a tart. But I will be reading the International Booker Shortlist as well. That is definitely on my list of books to read and vlogs to make. So there we are. Like I said, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on this shortlist. Any you feel you would have loved to have seen, any you're surprised to see. Are you thrilled with this? What are your thoughts overall? I am overall pretty excited for this shortlist. I can't say what my prediction for the winner will be. I can say I'm excited because it means that I might get to meet Elizabeth Stroughton and just be able to fangirl at her, frankly. I do have a feeling that I think I know what book might win, but I'm not going to tell you that now, because that would spoil the surprise in June. Also, my mind may change, because post-filming my shortlist predictions, those 6 books that I said that I really, really liked, I kept thinking, oh, I wish I put that on. Oh, no, I should have put that. Oh, anyway. So, yeah, there we are. Let me know your thoughts on the shortlist. I'm really going to go now. I hope you're all doing super duper well. If you want more savage shenanigans before my next video, which may well be tomorrow evening, actually, then head to my Instagram, my Blue Sky, my Patreon, which is all those things down below. And I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye.